you guys will crush it here. You guys such a sick brand. Like, yeah, let's go. Go ahead and oh, you need an office, bro. Just give me an office. Look, a couple months got office, 10 grand a month.
Your can grow on its own as well. Your appreciation can multiply even when you stop being active. So that's interesting about your concept.
So I run a sales team right now. We have about I'll say we have 360 agents. I don't know if it's good advice or not, but I don't know. You got to spend money to make money. And I've learned from my own team that barely anyone spends money. And which is good and bad. I spend all my money. That's why I do 1,000 sales a year now. My team members, they don't spend any money and they're wondering why the business doesn't grow.
I'm Vin.
And I'm Evan.
And we're the Cash Flow Bros. Welcome to Cash Flow Bros, man, where we do a deep dive into cash flow and real estate. And we love talking to successful people who are doing it. So excited for our special guest, Kenny Fast.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming in. If you don't know Kenny Fast and you're on IG, then you're missing out. So if you're following us, you probably know Kenny Fast. But in case you don't, he is literally the top agent in Oakland, leads the #1 team in the nation for his company, EXP.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, we were number 2 last year. We just got the numbers in last week.
Hey, top 3 is still good in the nation. One of the biggest heavy hitters in the country. Named one of the most innovative agents at Inman, and currently trending towards $1 billion in sales.
Dude, that's impressive.
Yeah. Dude. So thanks for spending some time with us, man.
Oh, thanks for inviting.
Yeah.
And for the pork buns.
Yeah. But as we were talking about with your big old team, and how we love interviewing successful people doing cash flow and real estate, the way you're doing cash flow is totally unconventional, but knowing you as Kenny Fast, that's normal for you, the unconventional way. So maybe if you can enlighten the people a little bit on how your cash flow works through real estate.
I wouldn't call it unconventional, but it's different because a lot of agents sell real estate. Obviously, we're all realtors, right? So I've sold a lot of real estate. I think I've probably have represented maybe 600-ish clients, mostly partner deals. But last year, I joined a new company 3 years ago. I was very much in production. Let me see. This is my 4th year here. So past 3 years ago, I was in production doing about 88 deals a year. First COVID year, 2020. I started growing a sales team here at EXP Realty, and we ended up doing like 129 deals. Last year, I personally was on 6 contracts. I sold 6 homes last year. So the whole business has changed. 2 years ago, I sold 60 homes where I was on the contract, down to 60. So I would kind of consider that like cash flow because I'm not directly working in the business to generate income. I work on the agents and building the resources and stuff. So last year, my team sold. EXP has different numbers than we do. We found out why, because EXP says we did 712 million. I have 760 million because a lot of my agents, which is actually a good, kind of cool reason too, we're $50 million short from EXP's numbers because my agents bought their own homes. Personal sales don't count, so we didn't realize that till last week. So yeah, our team bought $50 million of real estate or sold it for our own. So I run a sales team right now. We have about I'll say we have 360 agents. We've lost like 60, 70 agents just in the last 4 months. We're just recruiting so fast.
Yeah.
3 years ago came, 4 now, right? Let me see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3, 4 years completed. 3 years ago came the new company with 10 agents, and we went to 90 agents at the beginning of next year. Last January, we had 220 agents, so we just started to show at 360. So, I don't do a lot of maybe what other guests here, like investment property. I know everyone keeps telling, buy more investment property. I'm like, of course I need to buy investment property, but I just go out and recruit an agent. Every agent I recruit probably makes me 10 grand a year on average. And I last year recruited 300 agents. Granted, half of them left from that new net. So like, my focus has always been building my real estate business, whether it was before like actually working with clients and now like providing services for my agents. Because to me, that's the investment, and it's a really good return.
No, I think the reason we have you on Cash Flow Bros for a primary reason because we want all listener, our audience to understand that it's not all about investing in brick and mortars, real estate. We're thinking here as entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And there's multiple revenue ways of you can actually generate that cash flow. In your format is do business.
Yeah.
You build a system, and I think that's why we can hack and dig a little deeper into your system and how you're able to create a system in a short period of time, leveraging the company that you would and expand it in a way that I think that's probably one of the fast growing teams that I've ever heard in a very short period of time. And through there, you're generating your cash flow. And your cash flow coming from, like you mentioned, per agent.
Yeah.
And, for a lot of listeners, could be through real estate investment, to short-term rental, and different ways of investing. But Kenny is about system building. We're going to dig a little deeper today on that.
Yeah, it needs to be a replicatable process, right? Any successful business but ideally runs without you. It can be duplicated, and then it can grow without you. So that the way I built my company is, and I'm also traveling a lot. Like I travel at least a third to damn near close to half the year, just mostly on work trips and stuff like that. So, my company runs with, I skipped 2 of my team meetings this week. I have a staff meeting literally right now happening, but I'm not on it. I don't need to be on it. But the company runs without me. It operates without me. My 3 other leadership people, I'm the 4th person, runs the company, and we have 33 people on staff. But every time I go to a conference, I go learn something, then bring my information and make the company grow bigger and faster. Or like this, where I'm speaking so I can get in front of an audience. Like tonight, I'm flying to Ontario in Southern California to speak at Women's Council, Inland Empire, Inland Valley, to an audience tomorrow, and then flying back, and the next day on Friday, going to that big conference, a couple blocks from my office, held by someone else, and then Monday morning, 7:30 flight, land there at 9. I'm in San Diego to speak for an hour in front of the NAREP. That's the Black Real Estate Conference, and fly back by midnight that night, because then every opportunity will get me in front of another 100 people. Yeah. So that's how I've been able to build my business, through scale and just being seen and being visible, to get agent referrals.
How much is that you get referral or recognitions or recruitment from speaking? How much percent of that?
Probably more for agent deals. I think when I was tracking my spread, I got to look at it. I had someone that handles it. But last year I got like 50 or 60 referrals. Yeah. Yeah. This year I've already got probably 5 or 6 referrals for other agents. And then now I'm really bad with past client stuff. It just hasn't really been how I build my business. I've been more like a lead gen kind of guy online. And I'm focusing on trying to shifting that. Also creating educational content. Instagram, you guys follow me. I really, literally, I think last year posted 5 times on my wall. This year, before November, 5, 6 times on my wall. I did like 50 stories a day on average. But just in the last 11 weeks or so, I post on average 5, 6 times a week on my wall.
I haven't seen that a lot more.
It's really shifted. Now I'm making educational content. So you got to kind of shift with the times.
No, this is really cool. Comment down below if you follow Kenny's stories all the way to the end.
I average 50 a day. I looked at my numbers since October.
That's a lot, man.
That's how I built my so prior, even when I was building this team, I just don't post on my wall. I just post whatever stupid things I can think of, whatever. But now I'm being more intentional. I kind of trying to grow my team, leading by. Last year was a very hard year. We could dive a little deeper. But obviously, if you're listening to this, is February 2023.
Yep.
The market started tanking in April 2022, according to all sources. We had our best second quarter. We did $250 million in sales.
Wow.
250, 51, which is great. But then I had the worst quarter I've had in years last quarter, and I just had my worst January. We closed 30 million. So you guys said that sounds great, but that's my worst month I've had in a couple of years. So we're actually losing a lot of money, but we're just kind of powering through the storm right now.
Right. Yeah. No, it's a representative of the market, right? It's you just kind of got to hang on. But going back, it's definitely the way you built up cash flow is, to me, and like we were talking about, very unconventional, right? Everybody's thinking about rentals and flips and things like that, and you're doing it through systems, right? So it's not like everyone can just start a freaking real estate team overnight and do what you've done. But I think.
I remember you telling me I need to buy a rental property. I have flashbacks. It's
I tell you that every year. I see
you. Tell me that every year. I'm like, no, I'm building my real estate business.
And that's what we want to extract, right? Because for people who just think about, I have to buy real property, but there's definitely other ways to get cash flow and go through that. So what I kind of want to know is was that always the plan when you first started in real estate? Like, what was the whole goal? Because when you talk to real estate agents, everyone's always going into real estate like, I want to be my own boss and I would like my own time.
I'm never I'm pretty bad with my money because I'm young. I'm like 30. Well, I feel like I'm young. I'm single-ish. I'm 38. I don't have to like worry about things. I don't have to second guess spending, going wherever I want. Right. So every year in business, I've been in business 13 years. Every single year in business, I've made more money than the year before, except 1 year. It was like a weird year because I had a bunch of partners that left a different brokerage. So like as I've been growing my business every year, pretty much every year my business has grown in the last 13 years. Just 3 years ago at my last company, we did 56 million. We came here first year, 127 million. And then we did 690 million. So we 12x our business in 2 years. So, I'm all like, amazing. Okay, I got the system now, let's go. And last year we did 760 million or 712 according to EXP. We still held strong in the market where things dropped 40%. I still went up 10%. So like, I have a system that works. So we're just constantly feeling this thing. If you have investment that has a good ROI on it and it continues you to, it's like the doors are growing by itself, right? Like I don't, that definitely was more active, not fully passive, like cash flow. Like 3 years ago, I think I had like 450 recruiting appointments, half an hour, an hour appointment. But now I don't even think I did 100 last year. And I'll do like, for fun, I'll do a couple if I like the person or they're high producing. So that's automated. And I have people that handle all my meetings. So most of my time is just like figuring out how to add and build to it. And then if I don't work on it, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So where like I've lost money or not good at it. Like I keep buying stocks or with like freaking Bitcoin and all this shit. Like I don't know this stuff, so I don't make money off it. I break even. I'm happy. Like dude, this is not. Over the years, like maybe I don't have the patience for it, or the market shifts a little bit. And I'm like screw this. So what I'm really good at is just attracting agents, and that's what I've constantly focused my business on.
I feel like that's where your mindset is at. You're more in growth and expansions and basically lead gen. You're a lead gen machine. That's and
I'm passionate about it.
Yeah, you're passionate about it.
Going to these conferences, learning cool things people are doing, like podcasts, right? How many people have a podcast? Well, I'm saying a podcast room.
Everyone have a podcast. My neighbor has a podcast.
No, but it's cool because it's like it sounds like the cash flow through working with these agents wasn't the end goal at the beginning, but it was just more kind of like you knew you had a passion for real estate and technology, and you just kept going, and the doors just opened as you came along.
Yeah, and then like going to the conference, learning stuff. I can't do all that stuff, right? I had a cool idea, like I want to do that, but it doesn't make sense for me. Like client appreciation parties, I did one before 10 years ago. It was the windiest week ever in Oakland history, and I don't know, it didn't work. But now like I set up an event space for my agents to do it.
I saw that, yeah.
Or like, podcasts do that. I haven't done my own yet, but now we set up the environment where this can be done. So everything we do, like we try to do at scale. And for me, the funnest thing about being a team leader right now in real estate is like all these cool ideas. I can try to execute every idea there is. I hear someone else do it because I don't know how to do it. These are my like guinea pigs. Creating a fun zone where hey, this works, you should do it. This works, you should do it.
Yeah, no, totally. I feel like that's your story. It's a fun zone. Because I mean, that's how I know you guys knew each other from before. But how I found out about you was through stories, and it was through the pandemic. And at that time, a lot of real estate agents were just sitting at home doing nothing, right? And not knowing what to do. But you're the only agent that was like, oh, this is a cool tool I found. Oh, this is what I'm doing. And all those stories kept, attracting people, like including me, because that's how I reached out to you. But no, that's really cool.
That's what I get paid to do.
Exactly.
So like, that's why like I don't get stressed out for work. Everything's just fun. The more I work and pour passion into it, the more money you make.
That's awesome. So, I mean, was the intention of building a team as well, or was it just all came along?
I always want to build a team. Third year in business, this was 10 years ago. I think I wrote that one day. I signed for coaching right away there to Tom Ferry Success Summit. I think one day I wanted to do like, I don't know, 30 agents in my team or something crazy. To me, that was crazy. And then 4 years ago, right the year before the pandemic, I still wrote, because then that's the year I did 56 million. So that's puts a lot of perspective. I wrote in my book, I still have that. I wrote, damn, one day I want to do 30 agents and 200 million. That'd be crazy if I did 200 million in sales one year. And that was my big, here you go. That's like quadrupling your business. That's a pretty big deal to quadruple. And then within 2 years, we went to damn near 700 million, just in the blink of an eye.
Let's do that. Let's go back in time a little bit, because I think we have a lot of young listeners that are watching this video, and I think they can pick up some gems out of this story. We met over 13 years ago, right? When you first got into this business.
Before I sold a house.
Before you sold any home, you were maybe intern or working at a small brokerage firm in Oakland.
Yeah, I was working for Vinny. I was an assistant for...
Shout out to Vinny. We love Vinny.
Shout out Vinny. I worked as an assistant for someone else for a whole year.
Yeah.
And then when I got licensed, my friend Mayuri that worked for Vinny recruited me over. And I worked for Vinny, just not quite assistant, just like I was an agent there, but I just
brand new.
Yeah, working like the REO game, meeting police officers.
I remember that.
Just that crazy era that we had back then. With
Correct.
REO.
So let's take you back to that moment.
Yeah.
And this is for the young listener. I want you to listen to this and how I recognize you and how I saw you are the way you are today. Because I remember that Kenny was the one that showed up to the convention, networking, and he asked tons of questions. He was like, how do you do it? How you do this? How you do that? And then he don't just ask questions, he listen, and then he provides solution because you always the guy that provide better way to execute things. And I remember after seeing you a few times, you're like, hey, you should try this, you should try that.
Yeah.
Oh, I checked that out, and the way you can do it is this. And you don't just listen, you don't just follow, but you actually find solution, and then you bring it back for feedback. And you're like a machine, right? Every year I see you're improving, and then next thing you know, you just blow up overnight, right? So take the listening back to the time where you first got started in the business. Knowing what you know now, right? What would you tell yourself at that time to do?
I mean, what the biggest reason for my success is I listened to whatever smart people say and I execute it. So I was the very first to do many things in my market and no one else did. Looking back now, it's like, that doesn't sound very interesting. Like working with Vinny, he did REOs, right? So he did 100 REOs a year. So this is when this first year Zillow came out, Redfin came out, Truly came out. So then I would take all of Vinny's listings and type them into picture one by one, upload to Truly and Zillow.
Yep.
They get the contacts there. And on Truly, they had the blogging system. So I blogged, I was #1 on that. And then Movodo or HomeStat had this thing where you take a picture of the homes and I rank high in there. Third year I signed for Redfin as a partner agent, and I realized if you comment on any properties, I wrote stupid funny things. Your listing would go all the way to the top. People would get a notification that a new comment was posted, and get pushed up. And then now I did GoPro. I strapped the GoPro to my chest. I did hundreds of walkthrough videos, and so I was the first agent to get IDX feed, look at it. Oh, I paid someone $700 because I saw an agent in San Diego had it. So I was the first agent in my entire market to have IDX feed on the website where you can look up homes. Oakland, 100 to 200, 200, 300. Berkeley. Like, none of this, you're like, well, I don't get it. But I was the first to do all that stuff. So it's like, young listeners, like, you gotta if someone tells you to do something, like, yeah, get out of your comfort zone and just do it. Right now, it's all video. It's actually so much easier than before.
Oh, yeah.
But all the stuff I did, looking back, I was just way ahead of everyone at all times.
Oh, yeah, you were ahead of time for sure. Then check this out, though. You guys, I don't know if you caught this. He didn't have any listing, any property.
Oh, yeah,
He's starting out leveraging.
Oh,
right?
Craigslist. And then I input the listings and pictures into Craigslist, and then out of the Craigslist, you click on that, then you go back to my site instead of Realtor.
So you drive traffic. They're not your listing; they belong to your brokers. But you leveraging those because being in that office, you leveraging those through exposing it on social media platform, and then drive the traffic back to your personal
news
site.
articles about anything, like your MSNBC or Yahoo News, whatever, like all this stuff. That would just copy and paste the article on my website, give credit to them, and now people are going to my website reading my blog, and they put the same blog on, I forgot what website, Agent Fire or something Ben Kinney, Rain Express, Rainmaker, Active Rain.
And
then I posted on Trulia. So like, my whole job was just like curating content and information, really like studying all that stuff, and being the expert. And that's no different today than like, I probably posted like 20 times this morning. Stories, you're commenting, same thing. So I've been doing the exact same thing for freaking, and I used to do blogging back then in high school and I built computers in middle school. So I feel like I've been on social media for freaking like 30 years. I've been doing the exact same thing. So it's not.
Were you on Zanga or something? Or
I was pretty big on Zanga.
That's awesome, man. Back in the old school, if you're not old enough to know Zanga, then she might be too young for you. But in any case, I love sticking on this subject because we talk a lot about networking, lead genning, and mostly through trying to find deals. But whatever asset or cash flow income it is, you're putting the work out there. Even though you don't have it, you're putting lead gen stuff out there. And what I kind of like to know as well, because here's where I see that you're a little bit different. In this game, real estate at least, there's a lot of realtors that just copy and R&D, and then they go. and they don't really put their own personality or spice to it.
Yeah.
And you're one of the first agents that I saw that put your own personality into a lot of this marketing stuff, your stories, everything on your website, things like that. What was kind of the mindset
The bus
into that?
bench.
Yeah,
I think,
bus benches, you know?
I think, well, personality is one thing. Thank you for giving me that credit. But I think a lot of it's opinion. A lot of people don't want to give an opinion. They're worried about like what other people's opinion are.
Yep.
Since I was like really young, I was having to chat with someone that was really nerdy in school. So I actually had a hard time in middle school and high school. Girls used to beat me up in elementary school.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, like, and then I was always a class clown. Like, get sent to principal's office every day, and then I almost got kicked out of high school because it's just I had like I had 2.0 GPA. So looking back at it, like just being that like just not in a box has helped me build the business because real estate has a lot of freedom, I think.
Yeah.
But you gotta tough times like being very opinionated early on in real estate helped me out in being notoriety.
Yeah.
The bench ads, the era where people would just tag my stuff up.
Death threats.
Yeah, death threats, just cursing me out for gentrifying Oakland. But riding through that, like that got me really, really famous in Oakland and built my brand. And like just give it some more perspective. Like so when I was really big on Zanga, because and MySpace, I had a huge following on MySpace. All these sites, right? There's no vanity to it because you couldn't find my picture on MySpace. It was tricked out. You couldn't find my picture on Zanga. I had a huge following so ever since I was young, and then even like when I first joined Facebook, I was a big Kanye fan back then. Not crazy Kanye now, but my name on that was I remember I had a Pee Wee Herman guy because he was like a cool fit. And it was something, but my name on Facebook was Kenny East. Yeah, it was actually Kenny East for the longest.
I remember, yeah.
Actually, if you look my vanity URL on I never changed it. Kenny.east.9. So. Giving this because it's like it looks like I want to care about myself, how I brand myself. I've always branded myself super out there, super loud, opinionated branding, but it's not me. Like I didn't have my face on anything. I just like building a brand. So when I ended up building the Fast Agent brand, my third year in business, which became Team Fast 3 years ago, and the best Fast Real Estate, I've always been good at it. Really passionate about brand building, but it's not egotistic. It's just I just like building. And then funny enough, all my early content, even from those, I built Angel Fire and GeoCity websites and host my raving pictures way back. And it's like random stuff like that. The funny thing is like looking back, all my sites were black, red, and white. So like I said, I've been doing the exact same thing for 30 years. So that's why the more I do it, the more I'm passionate about it because this has been like my brand has been my baby since like I've been really young.
Yeah, no, and I think that's the most attractive thing because like I was saying, in real estate, you can be so in a box and then, it doesn't give you that creative flow to kind of be passionate and get more business is which everybody wants, right? Business or cash flow or whatever, but it just allows you to be yourself. I kind of don't know where I'm going with this, but I respect the uniqueness about you because in this game everybody can just be the same, and you leveraged it to build your own. Like you're the only, like you were saying with your raving pictures, and I can see like, yeah, you're totally the same guy because how I see you on your stories, I'm like, oh, realtors aren't supposed to post them drinking or partying, smoking or gaming or anything like that. Yeah. And you were the first one.
It's changing now though, but again, like it's just it's not even being able to just being yourself right now. It's just more, people are more open about it, being authentic. In fact, I mean, it says right here, right?
Yeah, be fast.
That's how I built the brand. It's just like not enough people are out there, and that's why I'm a leader for my company. Right. Not many people are out there other than you go on Tom Ferry and Inman or whatever conference, like they're like, be authentic, Gary Vee, be you, but
they're not.
Like that should be, but yet you're paying that much money for someone to tell you that but then your office, whatever company or what probably doesn't like or allow that. So like we that's why I think we've been able to grow the sales company and recruit over 500 agents in less than 3 years, mostly younger, probably late 20s is our average age because other companies are shifting very fast right now, by the way. So like, but we're just probably 2 years ahead of everyone.
Right.
Because where you actually more open, be yourself, where the managers are less boring and less like overlooking your shoulder. Telling them not be on social media, that's still a very common theme. Why are you wasting time on social media?
Right.
Like even down here in the high-end boutique companies I've heard.
Totally. Actually, I was interviewing with another company, should be not named, but but they were like, you shouldn't focus too much on social media. And I'm like, did you see my page? This is,
Yeah.
But you know, it speaks to the company that you built today, because being yourself, posting all that, doing your thing has allowed you to attract all these like-minded people to you.
There's been 2 instances where 2 producing agents, one's a $6 million producer, one's an $18 million producer, separate companies, 2 completely different brands, big brands, by the way, where they went to the manager and was like, hey, I really want to build a business on social media. I want to leave to a different location. And then both managers was like, where you can go? No one does that. It was like, I'm going to work with Kenny, and then they shut up. They just no. That's where we're known for it. But we had to keep that presence. That's why we're so like, you know, we're diving so much deep into our resources to build that out.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, and it shows with the team that you got now, and that's how you get your cash flow. And I think a lot of that too has to do with you being agile. You know, throughout these years. I mean, I know that you were transitioning from Climb Real Estate, and that was kind of I seen that when you were first when I first encountered you, meaning that Climb was closing, and then you had to like find another brokerage, and you had all these people.
But being agile doesn't make you're gonna lose money, but like you gotta figure out how much money you're willing to lose, take risks. So when Climb shut down, I interviewed 17 different companies, 13 of them in person, over 8 days spread. 19 weekends, otherwise it'd be 10 days. And we just picked the one that's cheapest. And we landed here. I was like, let's try this out. Because my whole team wanted to go to Compass. I have my views on Compass. If you follow me, you know. But let's go ESP. It's cheap. Got this super baller waterfront. It's not WeWork like spaces.
Yeah.
Brand, they weren't even open yet. We were one of the first clients there. We got literally the best room they have on waterfront. $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month for 300 square feet. We landed there for half a year. COVID hit, and we got the space to work at. So that just worked way better. But there's been a lot of like bad decisions making too, so it's not all positive. Like we expanded way too quickly before. We ended up getting at some point, like last year, we had 6 offices at location, but then we got this new location. They wouldn't let me out of the contract. And my old Walnut Creek office, we were growing so fast. Realized like going from 50 agents in June to 180 agents by next June. You're like amping up, right? And COVID kept coming back in different variations, like it was a stringing thing. So I was paying like 23, 24 grand a month in Walnut Creek. I locked in some contracts, but we just kept growing. And so like there's a lot of mistakes, lots of money wasted there. We probably wasted like 80 grand on this like online lead. I'm not gonna say company, but online leads, PPP stuff. In the market that we were in, and this is a business cycle. So like you see all these companies saying it on a bigger scale too, whether it's like a Compass or Keller Williams or whatnot. You know, in the last market we're in, you're really throwing as much money as you can into because everything has an ROI, everything's going well. The more money you throw in it, that's why we told back to our business 2 years. But then when the market shrinks, you're like, crap, now how do I adjust? So I think we've been able to adjust pretty quickly. With that said, even I kind of screw up. I spent like $700,000 last year in new offices. I opened up 6 retail locations. 5 or 6, I don't know. Like every build out's $100 grand.
Yeah.
Security deposits. It's just like we were just growing out. We went to SoCal. We partnered with a team. It didn't work out. A couple months later, we dropped them. Irvine. I opened the office in Irvine thinking I had partners there. I was like, hey, yes, we'll crush it here. You got such a sick brand. Like, yeah, let's go. Going, nothing happened. Oh, you need an office, bro. Just give me an office. Look, a couple months got office, 10 grand a month. Now we're okay. We just need to hire a recruiter.
Yeah.
Another 6 grand out the door. Nothing's working. And then when the first day I went to the grand opening for our new office, Omid, he's actually here in San Jose. He wanted to move down there. I was like, oh, you trying to live down here too? Like, oh, me too. Let's just go all in. We went to look apartment shop next day just like that. So like, if I had to calculate how much money have I lost in that investment between the recruiter, the office space, my lease, I'm out like probably 110 grand since May lost. And that office is not expanded. So now I just put that space up for lease. We got an offer first day. In the other location we had, they're not really popping off. Agent attrition is crazy high right now. I don't know how that works in the investment real estate, multi-unit space, but 80% of agents are quitting the business that joined in 2020 to 2022.
We just came back from the KW family reunion, and I think since 2020, we have lost over 700 real estate agents.
Yeah.
We were at 1.6 at the peak, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like half the agents are gone.
I think we're about 1.2 or something right now.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Because inventory, there's not many homes to sell, and also if people think that
I saw yesterday like there's 450,000 sales a year in California this year.
Yeah.
There's like 250,000 agents, so there's 2 each.
Everybody's taking a haircut, and 90% of the agents do most of the business anyway. So
yeah, they said at least the video I watched is a 25% 25% of agent does 75% of deals.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
But it's probably like 90-10, you're right.
right,
Yeah.
but you know that goes to show that not everybody can just make it in real estate if you're not willing to do the work. But
And for me, I was like, oh, let's just
yeah,
Keep going.
let's
I've never been in a cycle before, right?
Yeah.
Keep doing like next year. I remember, well, that year I said I would do 500 million next year. We ended up doing 690. I was like, okay, we're gonna do 2 billion next year. That's my big goal. I told you I'm gonna do 2 billion.
Yeah.
Like we did like, and then that in the year we did 800. We ended up doing like 760. But like, okay, so I reset my goal this year, and based on last year, like let's do 1.2 billion. I mean, between pending and close, we're at like 100 million right now. So I don't know, like we're still stretching. Like like I've never been in a cycle. No one told me to whatever. So like last year, all investments. So last year was less profitable than the year before. But many companies in my area have shut down. It's really who can take it harder for the longest that survives these
Who
cycles.
can endure.
Yeah, who can endure. And yeah, like I've spent all this money, but you know what? Because we're still growing. Like we recruited like I think we'll realistically probably in the year like closer to 500 agents. Cause we're at 360 right now. I was really hoping to get 600, but having 7 offices or 600, 700 agents is not crazy. Next year we'll hopefully get 900 or something. But looking back, like a lot of these offices like Sotheby's and Compass have shut down their summer offices in Oakland. So we're still growing. It also stupid enough, like I also spent 130 grand on this fat ass party in January, but that really planted our flag, like, hey, we're in this, I could be broke, but I'm still drop this money on this and then we're still expanding. We're just opening our office to really show like, hey, we're in it. So people are still very attracted to that. So are these good investments? I don't know. Like, but long term, I'm sure it is. But right away, you're not. I'm gonna get a return on that. But if we want to keep growing, we got to keep like moving.
But if Kenny, I think your strategy has always been in, executions, trying it out, fail, but keep, failing forward.
Yeah.
And I think that has been the byproduct of who you are today. Yeah. So maybe speak on that a little bit to the young people that are listening to us. What do you recommend when someone's starting out and they're failing right now, and especially entering this market is very difficult? What do you say to them?
I would do it more from a data standpoint. Okay, you're failing, but what have you failed at? Are you writing down your mistakes? I'm going to go super old school. Like my 4th year in business, I had a Trello board. Oh, actually, Tom Ferry sold this board. I didn't buy it, but wait, did I buy it? I think I did buy it. No, I didn't buy it. I made a ghetto version of it. It said the whole point was like, I think it was like working on to-do lists, doing lists, and done lists, and then failure lists. So I remember like I had it on Trello. I set up like every crazy idea. Like I had to have those carousels. Like, rename this, create this carousel, run this ad, hire this assistant, and all that. And then I've actually knocked out all those tasks. Ran this 10 years ago, and then I would show the 20 projects I'm working on right now, and then or want to do, and then the 15 I'm working on right now, the ones I was done, and the ones I was failed. And time again, I would go back like, oh, this is a great idea. I'm like, oh shit, never mind. I tried this last year. It was stupid. So do you guys really know what it is that you're doing? Do you have it on the list? If you're failing, get your emotions out the way. Like, how much time did you waste on that? It was a learning lesson. That's like when people ask me, what's your biggest failure? Like, I right away, I have a hard time answering, but I just told you one of my failures was last year. I wasted this much money on this and that, and I literally wasted a couple $100,000 last year on stuff that I probably didn't need. But I now have more information about a lot of things. I don't know who has opened up 10 offices. I opened up 10 offices. To learn what things cost, all that, strategic moves and all that. So you just gotta really document that stuff, really absorb it, take time to reflect, and don't be afraid to take risks. But then write down what it was, how much time did it cost, how much did it cost you, how much time did it take you, and then how can you improve better. So don't get stuck on one decision. The people that are most successful make more decisions, or they hire people to make decisions, so you make less and you let people run their own stuff.
Yeah, doing this, if you're gonna get into investing in real estate or in whatever capacity, there's a lot of pressure and emotion that goes with it. And looking from the outside in, we don't see you every day or anything like that, but from the outside looking in, you look kind of like fireproof or bulletproof, And with all that stuff you just mentioned going on, how are you able to remove your emotion from that?
I don't have a lot of emotions to start off with. I think I have Asperger's. I actually realized that last year talking to someone. I just don't compute emotion well since I've been young, and I don't know if it's a flaw or it helps. But you just, I was trying to go to. You just gotta make decisions. I don't over enough time. You just.
No, you
if you think about the whole. Once you get a lot of death threats, right? Like during that phase for 2-3 years, and you talk talk crap to people online, like you get thicker skin. A lot of stuff just doesn't really bother me. You lose you lose a client, big deal. Well, I've been my first year in business, I did 25 deals, second year 24 deals, 26 deals, whatever. Third year did 50 deals. So like my standards are pretty high. Like I'm assuming I'm doing 50 to 100 deals every year, not 2,000. So for me to lose a client, for me to get fired, for someone to yell at me, for someone to want death threaten me, for some broker to talk smack about, like, okay, it's just another part of the day. It's just so you don't not have emotion. It's just over time you have different. Just nothing really phases me too, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to.
It sounds like you got the long game in mind. So like, if a little problem here is not anything to the big thing, basically. Feels like.
And then even like these months, I mean, I had my worst month. If I don't do 60 million right now, I'd barely break even in the business. But I built my business where we're hitting all those numbers every month. We're riding at this really hard time right now. So like, I don't know, last month I probably lost $100,000 on my sales business. But looking forward, I'm looking to do at least $1 billion this year because we'll have 500 agents. I mean, I only need everyone to do like 3 deals. Right? They were doing 7 deals 2 years ago. Last year did 5 deals. So I just like see the vision, and this is an investment in. So you guys are looking at units and doors, but I'm looking at people like people hour, and I know units of people, and and we're doing things like last year, I don't know, probably like 30, 40 events. This year my goal is to do 200 events. 200 events, but they're not all hosted by me personally. Yeah. You know, we've done at least 10, 15 events since the year started. It's mid-February. These could be panels, home buyer workshops, credit repair, but my agents are also, hey, we have a type form system. You reserve the office, you run it. So a lot of events I'm not even part of, but they're being held at my office. And then a lot of my agents are doing like baby showers, birthday parties. I consider those events because you're bringing your friends are your clients. Okay. So like our goal this year is to do 200 events, and we're pacing really well.
I was just gonna ask that because I'm like, with the market the way it's going, what's the strategy to help these agents be successful? Because when we talk about our cash flow properties, it's forced appreciation. Yeah. There's different ways to monetize this, but with you working with people,
it's actually really basic. We just launched another thing called Fast Pass. It just sounds cool, but it's like. A checklist spreadsheet. Are you going to 3 coaching classes a week? Are you saying 5 video text messages? Are you writing 10 handwritten notes a week? Are you door knocking 50 homes? This is all down to basics. So we have that all laid out. So, and then that's what the agents should be doing. And for us, the way I recruit is through events, through adding value, through panels, through posting stories, through putting content out. And like, give you an example, our video editing team, we have 4 video editors. We're cranking out on average right now 70 to 75 reels a week. Yeah, like, they're really good looking, cool. Yeah. And now we're hiring a 5th editor. So that's all we can do. Is that going to get us immediate business? No, but what our team is cranking out 100, and this is what we produce. Like my staff, the agents also produce her. So imagine you're on the sales team. The team fast is cranking out 200 reels a week. There's no way we're not going to continue to grow, get market share, get mind share, and things. But we create the environments for them. We have the cool labs. We have the training and all of that. So the agents need to do their task. I need to, as a leader, build out the environment to crank out things for them, and I also need to go travel and go get business. So I coach with Raquel like every week. Like we're thinking like, how are we best supporting our new agents? We got that unlocked. How are we best supporting our best agents and retain them? And then what are we doing for the middle agents? So like it's just constant. Like I feel like everything, and you can't keep everyone. I mean, this week we lost probably 2 good agents. Yeah. But you just got to keep replacing it. Right now, as the market has turned, people are still feeling it. A lot of agents are not doing as well because they just don't have the mindset. They're got fat and rich, and however the market treat them.
Comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, I got really comfortable. And the fastest way to save, especially I see this more in couples, by the way. So not against like couples, because I see a lot of agents who have left my team are people who have recently bought a home, got engaged, or has a child coming. So hey, I realize that I don't think I can support my partner and pour into a relationship because that matters a lot, right? The hours spent and continue to grow my business, working double to make the same amount of money. So what's the fastest way to save money? It is to
host events.
No, like if you're on a team, maybe leave a team, go solo, and save some money and run it out. So we can't stop everyone from doing that. I mean, it's like a renter.
Life shift too, as a market shift.
Like a renter, they can get a better deal in a nicer apartment somewhere. They're gonna leave your thing. So that's the shift we're dealing with. So we're doing our best to constantly adjust and up the messaging and what we offer to the team.
What is the culture like at your company now?
It's very. I remember this contract. It's very fun, very productive,
Fast
and
paced.
very fast paced. And people are in outside comfort zone. We're on video a lot. I remember I was watching the Zillow Flex Partner Summit thing, and I got to look at the quadrant. Like in the company, if you have way too much accountability and not enough fun, people don't like it's too stressed there. But you're all fun, no accountability. People don't make money. They don't like it. So you got to be like this happy medium where it's high level accountability, like people that want to work and have fun. So it's
Keep it productive, but keep it fun.
Yeah, keep it productive. So I say we definitely have a hustle culture, but it's really the newer agents that are bringing the heat all the time, and that's why we've been able to. Our top agents right now that have gotten to multiple contracts last month are all. We were very careful to not use the word kids on the block. We did MTV Movie Awards style. But we look at our roster, our top agents are all much younger. Like we don't have because why we love working with the new agents so much is like we tell them you want to be successful, you have to door knock, you have to do open houses, you have to do 5 reels a week. Yeah, they're like okay.
They're more moldable.
And then I tell us experienced agent, yeah, but I wasn't feeling it, and like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I got a chat with an agent on my team. She did really well last year. She's having a tougher year. She wants to be without saying the city name, she wants to be like really known for this city. I was like, look on your feed. Your last post about the city was in June last year.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if I was shopping that city, a high price point, probably $1.5 million, I go there, like, you actually look like someone I wouldn't want to work with. Because then your last 2 real estate related posts was in Oakland that were like lower price point home. Like it was a starter home in Oakland. So looking here, like she has one of the highest price point, average price point, but you're not marketing yourself. So like, everything sounds good on paper and cool, but like it's just so much people need to actually like be aware of and do. So new agent need to like, I would say give yourself a social media audit, learn the word modeling. I learned that like a long time ago, not replicate, but early on in my business, like through Tom Ferry, like who do you want to be like? I want to be like that guy. Well, over time I surpassed that guy. I remember in Oakland, there was 2 guys I looked up to. I knew one really well, the other I didn't. I just like looked up to them, Ron Chris and Daniel Winkler. They both had like 30 agents working for them, really good reputation and nice listings. So I want to be like that guy. Well, within a year or 2, I beat them both on sales. Okay, I want to be like Tim Smith then, and on the OC and kind of like a lot of sales. Well, me and him had the same numbers last year. Like, okay, who am I want to constantly model after, and that I respect as like a business role model.
Who are you modeling now? Since you've gotten to this point, being so high up there with your sales and production.
Really early on it, but I would like to build a company that's similar like side or place, where it's like a white label or more resource heavy thing. We tried it, but we were just not built for it right now. It's just while we're trying to keep my business, my main business running. We try to create a company where it's a resource based thing like place, but we end up just doing a coaching program. What me and Elias is coaching agent out there, and we're picking up some of our clients. Raquel has a really cool mastermind with a lot, like I don't know, 50, 60 agents, and we're maybe trying to work on something where it's team coaching towards team leader brand building and team brand building, not team member building, but helping them build the company out. But those are some of the things I'm trying to like build a model after right now.
It's interesting because we're always talking about cash flow and how we can monetize this particular property. But for you, it's an idea. Like
there is some other thing. I forgot this is actually important. Our content studio in Oakland, I took over the old U.S. Bank 12,000 square feet office, 20 private rooms in Walnut Creek. We tricked out 6 of the rooms. You saw, painted bright yellow, blue, pink, orange, purple, green, and then we staged it. So we're setting a podcast room next. No one in the Bay Area is doing this. I followed 2 sites I think in Texas that does it. So now we're trying to create a company. It's called Fast Studios. Ryan Serhan. Ryan Serhan's a big person I respect, model after. So he has Serhan Studios. So we're trying to do this thing called Fast. Well, the thing I want to build to like compete against Place or Side would just be Fast with period. Yeah. But it's like I don't think it's happening anytime soon because we're still working on getting my office filled up locally. Right. But Fast Studios, we want to start renting out our podcast room to small businesses. Right. Because it has like 3 camera setup, kind of like this stuff. I don't know even where in the Bay Area you can go get this without knowing someone, or can I pay for this as a service? I don't know where you can do that. So we want to get that set up and rent out a content room. either do a monthly subscription model where they can come in for a 7 hours, or they pay by the hour. And then a second side of that service, if we're recording for you, if you're a subscriber, then we can cut your videos for you at a discount. Because typically you're buying this Talking Heads video, you're just paying $50 to $75. Yep. You know, that's why our in-house team, we chop videos up. My overhead cost on each one's like $7.
Yeah.
I have 4 video editors. And then providing that service as a small business opportunity, you come sell baked goods, sell your art. I don't know, it can be anything.
Right.
But like we're trying to leverage that, so that would be cash flow for us without having to do it.
That's pretty cool. That's actually go along with what we've been trying to do too.
Exactly,
We're creating a cash flow bro studio where we can actually interview entrepreneurs.
There's a huge need for it. And then the other
sure.
Because outside realtors and some salespeople, no one's doing it, but how great would it be if small business could promote themselves?
Shooting video and doing, like with your phone, kind of randomly, inconsistently, I think it's easy. But when you get down to the nitty gritty and being consistent in your content, and also having producer and content editor, the post editing is the big factor.
Yeah, learn from Neil. We're in the same master at Neil Home.
Yeah.
Trevor said, one thing he said that stuck with me is your content can get consumers, but it's a really high quality, well produced, lighted microphone. It's gonna get clients. Yeah, you get a lot of people watch your stuff, but like then they like do when you want to step up a little, make sure that person hires you, not just get likes.
It's the brand cohesiveness. Totally. Yeah, because everybody's doing video these days, and before it was like, hey, all you need to do is hop on video. And that's all you need to do. But now everyone's hopping on video.
But what if everyone hop on the video? You
now you gotta be good.
Stepping up. And like I'm starting to see agents in my market. There's some cringy ones, the old school brokers, but at least now they're actually encouraging them.
Yeah.
But there's just people are new to it, or some of it's just really hard to watch. They don't understand hooks and videos. They're staring at the camera. Know, like my favorite, like that's why 3 times is like a person just showing a home. But they're 75% of the screen. Like,
get out of the way! I want to see the cabinet.
Dude, the one thing that gets me the most is when people post videos and they put music in the background and it's too loud.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude.
So we see that for sure. Like a lot of brokers just have these content rooms where it's a ring light and like it was a ring light and a tripod and go at it. Hey, at least you have that. But now some other people are setting up. I mean, we had even prior to when we really stepped it out, we had green screen stuff. It still looks pretty crappy. Yeah. Now we have the whole tricked out room and average costing us $8,000 a build. But I'm seeing other brokerages and other team leaders do that. So how are we like staying ahead, right? Because then you lose the advantage.
Right.
And that's my idea when we tricked out at Walnut Creek. I have 6 really cool looking rooms, 7th one being built out with colorful spaces. Now like you have crazy ass backgrounds like this, like then even that could get old. Because we had a green background, and every single person in my team had the same dark green. I was like, I hate this. Like, drop there $25,000 and check out these 6, 7 rooms.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what the next step after that. We have the push button system, but it's again like constantly staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not a new concept, but you guys are just doing that now. People have been podcasting for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
So, what's your feedback on this setup, though?
I like it. It's nice. It's simple. It's bright. I've seen your stuff. It's easy to watch.
But we always trying to stay ahead of the curve too, because this will be
my favorite podcasts are a lot of raunchier ones. Like Stiff Socks or Tucker.
Full Send or
no Barstool. The dialogue is content's more interesting, but I like the conversation. That's why you had said this would be on Zoom or Riverside. I was like, I'd rather just come down. I don't like.
Yeah, we just want to
that.
chat.
And then I really like the style where like there's 2 couches and then cutting back and forward with 4 people, but that needs a lot of space.
Right.
So that's something I would like to aspire to build out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think different setup. So you have a media room, you can just set up different setup because then your agent don't have the same exact video all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why our push button system in the Oakland office, we just installed iPad yesterday too.
Nice.
It's a stream deck. You press a button, the lights behind change. Different colors. You press a button, it goes to one person or 2 person. They're actually winding it. We're trying to widen it up. For that setup, you need 13 feet or more, and we're on the brink of not being able to fit that many. And then just yesterday, Patrick, our guy, was able to finally. He said he's been working on it for a year now. Somehow we have these RGB lights are in the higher up over there. But then now we press a button, then the Philips light behind the couch, we could.
I love it, dude.
Change that already.
Yeah.
Oh no, our Philips light are hooked up to our sconce where you say that. But now, you have to go. And then now we have the lights up above. You press it, it'll change it so people can rotate on the iPad between different backgrounds. But we need to actually step it up and now brand the backgrounds because this is my product. Like I don't want people to just build their brand and leave. If you leave,
Yeah.
I'm watermarking your product. 'cause
Yeah,
I paid
exactly.
for it.
Yeah.
So like
you can have your colors, but Team Fast is in the
so
background.
we're like
right now.
we're even that right now we're stepping up where we're doing on that.
That's awesome, man. I mean, this all kind of ties into the cash flow part because this is another avenue. But I know when we were talking before, there were other avenues that you were trying to do for cash flow, not for cash flow, but that will help, which was, doing services a la carte. Is that something that you guys were still thinking about?
I tried that. I actually tried that. I remember one day we were partying. I say partying because I literally mean partying, and woke up morning. There, moon rocks. Moon rocks was a thing.
Yeah.
And next day I started this company called Moon Rocks Marketing. We're gonna dive into. You need to look at Moon Rocks. I had a cool ass logo, everything. I was gonna create a marketing service, different tier, month subscription. We run your social media for you. We call Moon Rock Marketing. And I just got so busy in a good way with my business that never took off. That was the a la carte thing. I was building like 9 years ago. But more recently, no, nothing I can think. Maybe I don't know. I just think of stuff. It works. I tell my team. Like also like. Well, a lot of these ideas I have, I'll text my team on Slack, like, hey, let's look at this quarter 2. Let's look at quarter 3. Like, I want to do a swag shop. Like, we literally only have T-shirts in this, but it's not that important right now. It's not the best use of money, but I have a swag shop where you reward your clients with points or team members on closing. They can shop a store.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other like cash flowing ideas outside of real estate that you're considering or doing? I know you mentioned something about REITs a little bit, but
I invested in a syndication last year in San Antonio. It's like a 4% return, and I don't even know if it's going to do that well considering interest rates have shifted.
Right.
I don't like. So that's why I don't like to do anything that's too active to focus my money because then I've already done. I mean, I don't know who else is recruiting 300 agents a year.
Yeah, you're already active doing that.
I already recruit 300, 400 agents a year to try to figure out how to make $1,000 a month. I also know the importance of all other stuff. And we mentioned obviously EXP Realty. You guys all know there's a passive income component to it.
Right.
On average, the national payout for an agent it could be anywhere from $600 to $800. So in 3 years here, last week was 3 years here, I have over 600 downline. Last year was a slow year, but last year I made 190 on my ref share. I think last year maybe around 200-ish. This year, if all goes well, I hope to end the year with like 900 downline and making $400,000 this year in passive income. Next year, hope maybe 6. So that in itself is already like that's where I'm more focused on than it is my sales business. Now a lot of the big ESP team leaders also is like that too. Because you could be pulling like running a company this size, like brokerage wise, national average, you're running what I'm running, like 7% average return, and I'm making less than that because like I said, I spent $700,000 on it growing. So the broker running a brokerage is not that profitable. You're looking at like 7% return. But then if I just do this and it runs and continues to grow, then my other income it's tied together, but the passive income part we just grow. And let's just say in 5 years, I mean, this is the worst case scenario. In 5 years, I decide I don't want to even touch real estate. It's shut down all my offices. Well, there's agents that will probably just stay at the company and do their own thing. Then I still have thousands of people in my downline. I'm still making 7 figures passive.
That's what I was
going
gonna
to happen, though.
Yeah.
That's actually I wanted to bring back the topic. You and I talked about this before. We're comparing about what I'm doing and what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're building a business and I'm building a real estate portfolio. The difference is that what Kenny's doing right now is very active, similar to what I'm doing with my real estate portfolio. I'm very active, especially on the short-term rental side. Very involved with the company, with the staff meeting and all that stuff. But real estate have the appreciation component to it.
Yeah.
Right? Where business, I think you have to grow it to some point. Like you mentioned, if you shut down everything and the agent is still producing.
The recruiting thing on average is growing naturally in the good market in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
About 6% a month. I think my downline organization has been growing year to year about 60%.
So would you say you're at the point where it can grow on its own without you?
Yeah.
Okay. And would it ever end?
No.
Okay.
The EXP, without getting too deep, no, there is some maintenance thing with EXP where you have to have like 40 activated frontline people to hit all 7 levels, get paid out. I looked at it, 50% I have 50, so I'm top 10, I'm number 9 in the company. Half of it is my team, so if I can get a little bit more, I can actually not even run a sales team in like hypothetically in 3-4 years and still make 7-figure. But I'm also supporting my grow. It's just tied but not complete. I have like 360 team members. less than half are in my downline. We actually adopt, like, we bring on all these solo agents, no revenue share component in my market. They all want to join my team. So when you build something so easy to plug in, you just randomly pick up agents. So I can have downline and 100% passive income at 7 figures within 3-4 years if I really, really wanted to do that and not have any sales team at all.
I mean, and that means that they have to stay with EXP, right? I mean, if they go to another brokerage, then so that's why it's so incentivizing for you to just keep adding and growing.
Yeah, and then the more resources you have, the more the agents recruit other agents, and then once they get a taste of some passive income, they're not just leaving because of splits, because then you have that, like, shit, well, then maybe they'll just leave my team, they get to EXP. So they kind of built the model where it makes us all like mini owners. And that's...
So is that passive income transferable?
Yeah. You can...
Choose a
we
spouse
can...
or a trust?
Yeah, they just have to be licensed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
and it's also willable.
It's willable.
Oh, nice.
That's the so you can will it to a trust with them.
It's either working on it or it is right now. I forgot. And then there's actually even another way. No one's done it yet because it's really early on, where they'll let you, ESP will literally let you lock in your numbers. You just give their sum line. The sum line is a quarter of the money, or actually it's actually more. So it's a win for the company. But someone can really like drop their license, not do anything, lock it in, retire for life.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of people that will still be making millions a year, but we're still very early on in growth. The ESP right now has
That's amazing.
87,000 agents. The prior year had 60, prior year had 45. So we went to 16,000 agents and almost 9,000 in 5 years. So we're not new, but we've crushed it in the last couple of years. So it's new to many people and how much money they're making.
And I mean, the more money these agents make, does that have any difference on your revenue? Or I mean, like, you know, your profits at all? Or is it just...
It does, of course, but not that much. His cap, like the way...
There's a cap. Okay.
It's, again, that's why I said the national average is like $600. It's 6 to 7. It's not life changing. You have 5 of them, but when you have hundreds, and you grow at the pace that you want to grow. It's like accumulating. So you have the appreciation, right? So that I akin that to that. Yeah, well, I'm not getting more. I am getting more doors actually, kind of like, but it's growing. The number grows by itself, whether you how hands on you want to be or not. You don't eat. What the thing about difference between us, you can't control appreciation, right?
Yeah,
you can do tend to improve. Essentially, yeah, that's one that you can.
I can force appreciation. In a sense, yours can grow on its own as well. Your appreciation can multiply, even when you stop being active. So that's interesting about your concept.
Yeah, man, I think this was really helpful for a lot of our audience because, yeah, like I said, not everybody can start what you started overnight, but the mindset of, you know, just moving fast.
I won't say it's ever too late, right? But when they run the numbers because they do this at every ESP conference that are like recruiting based. So you want to retire, you got like 4%, some number every year. Like to truly retire, you probably need to have millions of dollars in assets, you know, to fully retire. And realistically, I'm 38. Like I would say 90% of people my age don't have more than one income property. One. So you're telling them they want to retire, they need to have like $5, $6, $10 million in assets, 560. They're barely getting by in the Bay Area, scrapping together cash to buy a house. So like, how are they gonna ever? Not that they shouldn't, but it's very hard. It's a very niche population of people that can actually want to buy, get foreign property. And then you look at a model like ESP Realty. If you recruit one agent, just not on a team anywhere in the U.S. that makes $80,000 a year, paying out $16,000, that's $2,800 a year, and they recruit someone $3,000. So I think that's depending on who you're talking to. And then I don't say ESP is all focused on recruiting. In fact, only 13,000 agents at ESP out of 89,000 or so is even getting a single dollar from revenue share. So that's like, I don't know, 15%.
Yeah.
And then only 8,000 people, so only 5,000 people or less. Less than 5% of the entire company has more than 5 downline. So the company had a bad rap for that, but people aren't that. But the opportunity is there.
Yeah.
So it's just a different way of looking at it.
So before we end, I like to do this. If anyone watching this video, and I know it's a long video, and you're skipping all the way towards the end, I wanted to see if you can drop some of the highlights. Let's just say recap the entire video from beginning of your career into now, and giving some ideas if someone wants to get started doing what you do. Where should they start?
If you want to start, hang out with people who are doing it. Step one, like I hung out around Vinny and I learned how to do real estate. And then like the things you don't have to do exactly how he did. Like there's things that Vinny would do, I wouldn't. He was like, because he did REO, it's a whole different game.
Yeah.
But be around the right people, be around the right environments, put yourself in. And it's nothing like put yourself in bigger rooms around people. Like this year, I'm not going to many of the big conferences I used to go to, like Inman, Tom Ferry, and I want to go to the more small, intimate one to meet new people. And then put together a board of your ideas. You can put that on a checklist, a spreadsheet, Asana, Trello, whatever. Really write down, and then every time you have a loss or something that works, you reflect. People move too fast. They actually need to like reflect on what works and what doesn't. I think just study, travel. Like we didn't talk that much about referrals, but I wrote down last week. Yeah, my 5-6 trips, 10 trips only cost me $20,000. But what's one referral worth in the Bay Area? $20,000. So you think you go on 10 trips, you're not gonna get one referral if you actually went on network. So like make an effort to meet new people.
Yeah.
And then like keep an eye on what's innovative and what's new. There's so many. If you are in like real estate residential sales, RIS Media, Inman News, Real Estate News, Housing Wire. There's always great ideas out there. You just gotta do it and just like strategically execute and just move on. You guys should obviously be doing something so you don't fall in the slump, and don't be afraid to like. I don't know if this is good advice or not, but I don't know. You got to spend money to make money. And I've learned from my own team that barely anyone spends money, and which is good and bad. I spend all my money, and that's why I do 1,000 sales a year now. My team members, they don't spend any money, and they're wondering why their business doesn't grow. But that's also, like, I'll give you an example. We gave away awards last week to the best listing videos. My team did over 250 listings last year. So I can't even think of like 5 listing videos that were any good. And I don't even know there's like 20 actual high-produced listing videos.
What's a good listing video like to you?
It's funny, energy, captivating. Just a lot of them are kind of movie style, playful around. Not just welcome to that, and this becomes a screenshot cutscene.
Totally.
But that's the power of, I always reflect back, like I had all this creativity early on through building websites and playing, Farmville and these restaurant games and all but then now today you don't even need to have any creative coding design background. You just come up with an idea and you cut a reel.
Think of Canva.
Make a Canva. So I think it's easier and easier, but it's just people are also not exposed to it as much, or they think it's hard. So just you gotta get in the right rooms with the right training.
It's awesome, man. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
A lot of great stuff here, and please comment, subscribe, let us know what you think. But anything you want to plug, Kenny Fast?
Just find me on Instagram, and if you're looking to join a company with passive income and cash flow, hit me up.
Let's go, baby. Kenny Fast.
All right, man. There you have it.
Yeah.
Kenny Fast on Cash Flow Belt. See you next time.